Dang. Okay.
Okay, guys. Is everything okay today?
I guess.
Did something happen on the way here?
Well, something happened last night, but he doesn't want to talk about it today.
Okay, guys. Before we even start, we're going to try to get we'll go back to the baseline, okay? Remember we talked about baseline. Let's try to relax, okay? I just want you guys to inhale and exhale. Just focus on your breathing. Inhale and exhale. Now continue to breathe. Don't wait for me to tell you when to exhale. Just continue to breathe. Squeeze your toes together. Squeeze them tightly and release. Remember to continue breathing. Now I want you to squeeze your thighs, hips, and buttocks together. Squeeze and release. Continue to breathe. Now I want you to hold yourself, hug yourself as tight as you can. Squeeze those muscles and release. And I want you to reach out as far as you can. Continue to breathe. Continue to breathe. And completely relax your body. And continue to breathe. We feel relaxed, guys? We feeling a little bit more relaxed?
A little better.
A little better?
Yeah, but I'm still annoyed.
Okay. I'm going to just ask what happened. I'm going to start with Rhonda. Okay, Bill? I'm just going to start with her because she seems like she's still a little agitated, okay? So, Rhonda, could you tell me what happened?
Well, I've been really excited about everything that's been happening with therapy. I felt like we were getting somewhere. Like, we were actually getting to spend time together and we were starting to communicate better. And, like, he would come home when he was supposed to and I would have things ready. And we just get to spend at least that night time together. And on weekends we would spend time together. So, in that excitement, I decided, let me go ahead and set the day up for him. I'm going to go ahead and cook. I'm going to clean. I made sure my homework and the kids were out of the way. And so that he can come home, we can have dinner together, and then we could just really relax with each other after he came home from work.
Okay.
He didn't come home from work. Well, I guess he came home, but whenever he came home, it was surely way after the time that he was supposed to be there. And so I was very upset. And I tried to talk to you this morning, but you didn't want to talk about it.
Okay. We're going to pause right there, guys.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
We're in a relaxed state. Remember, we want to be mindful of ourselves, how we feel right now, self-awareness. That is the first step in communicating with your partner how you feel and what you want. Okay? We remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. So now I'm going to go to Bill, okay? Because he seems like he's getting upset as he's listening. So I want to see what that is, okay?
Okay.
So, Bill, what happened this morning? Or when did it start for you?
Honestly, it started when I was getting killed at work, quite honestly.
Okay.
I called her. I let her know, like, hey, I'm going to be a little bit late. I'm getting all these different patients, and, I mean, as I told you before, I'm a physician.
Yes.
So, like, we have crazy hours.
Yeah.
Like, I can't just decide when I'm going to come home, especially if it's not communicated to me that you're making dinner and you're doing all these big plans.
Okay.
Especially when you hang up in my face. Like,
Okay, so what I'm getting is you woke up this morning, you were very happy, and you tried to make dinner. You didn't know she was making dinner.
She didn't tell me.
And you hung up in his face. Okay. So we're gonna start there. Rhonda and Bill, you both let me know in the past that you don't like it when she hangs up in your face.
Yeah, she knows that.
So Rhonda, why would you do that if you know he doesn't like it?
I was upset because I wanted to do something special for him, and it just seemed like he wasn't receptive. And I mean, this has happened before, so for me it felt like, okay, here we go again. After we've done all of this, now we're about to go through the same cycle.
And that's how you felt.
Yeah.
And you reverted back to those previous behaviors of hanging up
Yeah.
in Bill's face.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you did that?
I was still angry.
You
It
were
made
still
me feel
angry.
better for about a second, but I was still very angry because I wasn't doing it to be malicious. It was just like, I'm trying to do something nice for you. Like, why aren't you receptive of that?
Okay, we're going to stop right there. When she hung up in your face, Bill, how did you respond?
I just carried on with my work,
Okay.
quite honestly. I mean, I'm putting food on the table. I don't know what you're doing because you didn't even let me know. Like, hey, like I'm trying to make dinner. Like, just trying to make it as soon as possible. I'm trying to get hit on work. Like, I'm slammed up there. And it just seems like sometimes, like, honestly, you're always angry. And I don't get it. I'm happy, like, when you're happy, you know? Like, my pops always taught me, like, when I was, like, a lot younger, happy wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to make you happy.
Okay. Bill, I'm saying that was a good job. You focused on what you wanted, how you were feeling. You did accurate expression. You expressed what you were trying to let her know, how you felt. And now how are you going to respond to that? How would you like to respond?
Honestly, I'm still upset, but maybe I miscommunicated. I know it's supposed to be a surprise, but I can't really be too angry because he didn't know.
So you understand that because he didn't know that there was a surprise, he can see why he didn't know he upset you.
Right.
So now you understand why he's not as upset as you are, or how you would want him to be.
Yeah.
Because he didn't know.
Right.
So Bill, he doesn't know what's going on. So guys, like we said in the past, what just happened is you guys know the material, you know the techniques, but you have to apply them. You have to remember to apply them, even if in that moment. In the moment you feel like your feelings are hurt or something isn't going your way, you have to remember it has to become a habit that you become mindful right in that moment. You become mindful of yourself, how you feel, what's going on at the moment. And the next step, what do you want? What is the reason for this? And the next step, what's the next step, guys?
Accurate expression.
Accurate expression. You are mindful, you think about what you want, and you try to express that as best you can. And hopefully out of that, you receive some form of validation.
Yeah.
So now, right now, Rhonda, even though she understands that you didn't know about the surprise, and she can understand why you weren't responding the way she wanted you to respond, she's still upset. She's still upset because her feelings have yet to be validated. I'm not asking you to apologize. I'm not asking you to validate her feelings. I just want you guys to understand how emotions work. Although you do understand what's happened, you still feel upset, and that's because your feelings have not been validated.
Had I been doing better?
Yes.
Like since we started coming in here, like have I not done better?
You have.
Look, I just want you to be happy.
Okay, we're gonna stop right there, guys. What happened, Rhonda? What are you feeling right now?
And I'm just afraid that it will be like before. Like, he has been doing better, but I've seen this before.
Okay. And we've talked about this. Not that we can't talk about it again. It's just that fear, remember that fear is going to be there because you've experienced it.
Yeah.
So whenever you see something that reminds you of that fear, you are going to feel scared. But you have to remember to be mindful of that fear. This is just today. You don't want to base tomorrow off of one moment in the previous day. That one moment where he didn't know you made a surprise dinner and you didn't know how swamped he was at work. That's where that miscommunication was, okay?
Yeah.
We want to remember accurate expression. Maybe, Wanda, when he said, don't worry about dinner, that made you upset. It made you feel like you said like he didn't care, like he wasn't trying.
I should have told him that it was disappointing and I really wanted to spend the afternoon with him.
And if you would have heard that, Bill, what would you have said? Or what would you have done?
I would have tried to, I guess, delegate things better at work. The stuff just really just got out of my hand there as far as just trying to make sure everybody had their medications before I left. It wasn't malicious.
How do you feel now, knowing that he didn't do it on purpose, that he really was at work, swamped?
I could understand that it was a miscommunication, and that I pretty much kind of took it out of hand or out of control.
So, how do we want to end this conflict? To validate each other. For example, Rhonda, you feel like are you still upset? Or how do you feel now?
I'm calming down a little bit. I feel like maybe I should even apologize because I kind of assumed or just took old memories and then I placed them in yesterday, and I kind of just flew off the handle when neither of us really knew what was going on. Neither of us, well, I didn't communicate very well what I wanted to do or what I had planned or what I hoped for, and so I apologize.
I didn't mean to hurt you.
I believe you.
This is all you need. You see this closeness you feel now?
Yeah.
This happens after validation. People do this every day without knowing. This is what you guys want to get back to. This is what you told me you wanted to get back to. So the first step is being mindful. When you guys walk out of here, be mindful that you just left a therapy session that is dedicated to assisting you in your marriage. Be mindful of that. Be mindful of the conflict you just resolved. Be mindful of where you are now. Just being mindful. If you're mindful, that next step is automatically going to come. You're going to know what you want, You're gonna know, you may not know how to express what you want or how you feel, but at least you know it. And if you know it, it's gonna make it easier. And we're gonna work on expressing those feelings, okay?
Okay.
We got time, guys. We got time. We're gonna see each other. Wednesday with group. If you guys feel comfortable letting the group know this, you can let them know. If not, it's okay. But I just want you guys to remember just to be mindful. It's still brand new to you, so it's okay. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to make bumps in the road, and that's perfectly fine. But this is a behavioral technique, so it's like learning a new skill, learning how to ride a bike for the first time. You're going to fall over a couple of times, and eventually you're going to never forget how to ride that bike. Okay? So today, originally we were going to discuss validation and closeness. We did get into it a little bit, but because of time, we're going to fully focus on it in our next session, okay?
Okay.
This was good, guys. This is really good. I can't wait to see you guys in group Wednesday. You're a beautiful couple. I just want you guys just to remember to be mindful. I'm going to give you some homework. So,
Homework.
yes, Bill.
Okay.
Some homework. It's not too much homework. So there's 6 days in between the next time we meet here.
Individual.
For the individual. I want you guys for 3 out of those 6 days before you go to bed to write down at least 3 things you wanted to communicate to your partner but was unable to for that day.
Okay.
It doesn't, if you have more, you can write more. If you don't have 3, you don't have to write 3. It may for that day only be one thing you was unable to communicate. Okay? It doesn't have to be every day, just 3 days. Okay? And you have to physically, you don't have to physically write it. It can be in your phone. Just when you come back, I want us to discuss that so we can go into the validation and closeness, okay?
Okay.
All right.